In this video, I'll be showing you how to use the count, countif, and countifs function in Excel. We have here on the left side the table with the name of the participants, their sex, and percentage scores in the test that they took. First off, we will count the number of students who took the test. We will make use of the count function here. Let's type equals, then the word count. It says here counts the number of cells in a range that contain numbers. So we'll be choosing the third column, the scores, percentage scores, since these are all numbers. Parentheses, then let's highlight this. Close parentheses, then hit enter. We have 36 students who took the test. Again, for count, we only need the cells with the numerical values or the numbers in it. Next, let's proceed to countif. Let us count the number of students with a score of below 75. We'll type equals, then count. We'll choose countif here, double click. So for countif, we only have one range and one criteria. Since we're talking about the scores here, let us highlight the percentage scores. This would be the range. Then comma, quote, less than, since we are asked for the scores below 75, quote again, then parentheses, hit enter. So we have 3 students having scores of below 75. 1, 2, and we have 3 here. So let's now proceed to countifs. Now for countifs, we will have 2 or more criteria and ranges. So here we are asked to determine the number of students with a score of 75 to 85. Let's type equals, then countifs. So countifs here counts the number of cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. We will double click. Now let's enter the first range and the criteria. Our first range would be the percentage score, so we will highlight all this. Then enter the first criteria, which is, let's type comma, then quote, greater than equal to 75, then quote again, then comma. Now enter the second range and criteria. We will highlight the same range. Then comma, enter the next criteria, which is, quote, less than equal to 85, quote again, then parentheses. So this is our range and the criteria. Our range is the same, but for the criteria, it's different because we're trying to get the number of students with a score of 75 to 85. Let's hit enter. So we have 14 students having scores of 75 to 85. Take note that whatever changes we make in this table, that will also affect the values that we have here. For example, participant AAA has a score of 74. Let us see how will that affect our values. So since it's 74, now this number of students with a score below 75, which was then 3, now became 4. And this from 14 became 13. Now let's proceed to another example for countifs. We are to determine the number of male students with a score of higher than 90. This time we will have a different range and different criteria. So let's type equals, then countifs. We will just double click here. Let's enter the first criteria. We are looking for male students. Let's highlight the sex. Then comma, quote, enter the first criteria, which is male. Quote again, then comma. Now let's enter the second range and criteria. which are the scores here. Comma again. Now for the second criteria, quote, higher than 90. It should be greater than 90. Quote again, then parentheses. So B2 through B37 is our first criteria, or first range rather, and then the male is our first criteria. Then we have C2 through C37, which is the second range. Then our second criteria is greater than 90. Hit enter. We have 6. Let me show you two more count functions in Excel. We have count A and count blank. Let us see what count A is for. By the way, I have deleted 3 items here under the column for sex. Let us do the count A. Type equals, then count A. We have count A here, counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So let's double click. Now we will highlight the sex here. Let's remember that the count A counts the number of cells that are not empty. So it may count letters or numbers. Then parentheses, hit enter. So we have 33. Why 33? Because from 36, we have deleted 3 items here. Now let's proceed to count blank. Equals, then type count blank. Count blank is here, counts the number of empty cells in a specified range of cells. This time, count blank will count the number of cells that are empty. Double click and then highlight again the sex. Then parentheses. It's okay if you will not include the close parentheses at the end. Hit enter. So we have 3. We have 1, 2, and 3 items here that are blank. That's all, folks. I hope that you have learned something new today, which you can apply in your work or in anything that you do in Excel. Till the next video.